Hello everyone, I am back yet again. So usually we don't do this many videos, but because I have access to the webcam and there were some news stories that broke today, or yesterday now, then I figured I'd give my thoughts on it. You see, I wanted to ignore the whole WWE issue because, quite frankly, it just gets me fired up, gets me pissed off, and I don't want to talk about it. Well, I got a lot of questions and a lot of people saying we were ducking, bringing up the whole NXT invasion. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter if they have 60 young guys on their roster that can deliver because they're not going to be allowed to go out there and showcase the talents, the God given talents that they have in that ring. You see, if you're a mixed martial artist and you go and you travel around the world to learn Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, kickboxing, wrestling, everything that it takes to become a complete fighter, and you fight all over the world and finally make it to the UFC, Dana White is not going to tell you, hey, I'm glad you made it here, but we only fight one way here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and send you to developmental. And once you learn to fight the way we want you to fight, then you can go out there and fight like we want you to. Because that's what the WWE does. That's exactly what they do. They take guys like Sin Shi or Low Key or whatever you want to call them, Bryan Danielson. They took Kazarian. They put them all in developmental to teach them how it's done in the WWE. Instead of letting them take the styles of wrestling they've learned from traveling the globe and bringing unique and exciting matches to the ring each and every night, you have to learn to wrestle like they want you to in the WWE. You have to cut a promo exactly how they want you to cut a promo in the WWE. You're a slave when you go to the WWE. You're at their mercy. They completely own you. They tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and they don't allow the wrestlers to be creative. And that is why so many people are pissed off with the company. That is why the ratings are down. That is why the buy rates are down. And that is why the business for the WWE is suffering, and for the professional wrestling business in general. It just makes me sick to my stomach, and I am glad. I am so happy. I am thrilled that a guy like Bryan Danielson doesn't have to be held hostage in the WWE anymore. Now he's got an opportunity to go to TNA and wrestle guys like Kurt Angle and Nigel McGuinness, Desmond Wolfe, a lot of talented guys, Jay Lethal. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm not saying I want him back in TNA. I'd honestly prefer him to go back to Ring of Honor, but I don't know if that's what he's looking for right now in his career. I guess that's something he's going to have to evaluate. And personally, for Bryan Danielson, I know that was a dream of his to be in the WWE. So I am sorry for him that he didn't get the rightful opportunity that he deserved, that he rightfully deserved, that he busted his ass on the independents for years to get. It makes me sick to my stomach, but you know what, Bryan? You're going to be better off for it in the long run, man, because you get to take pride in your profession now. You don't have to sell out. And that's always been my problem with the WWE. If you go to the WWE, you are a total tool. You are a sellout, and that's just the way it is. You're going to make a lot of money, but you have to sell out everything you believe in to work there. Another thing, apparently there's some big news that Dixie Carter wants to break this Sunday at Slammiversary. A lot of people are talking about it. She is saying it is going to change TNA forever. So I'd like to get your thoughts. Post comments down below here. Give me your ideas on what you think that the announcement could be. Personally, the first thing that the internet fans are going to say, right? It's Paul Heyman, right? Well, I personally think that it's more than Paul Heyman. I think it's something bigger. I would love for it to be Paul Heyman. I would love for Paul Heyman to come in and have 100% control of creative. It just doesn't seem like the president of Spike TV would be excited and agree that it would change the face of TNA forever if it was Paul Heyman, because that guy probably doesn't even know who Paul Heyman is. But by God, if they bring in Paul Heyman, that's my biggest problem with TNA right now, is their creative. They still have a good in-ring product. but it's embarrassing to watch how some of the guys are treated and how some of the guys are booked and how the show was put together and how pay-per-view matches are thrown together at the last minute or how things don't have any meaning. You know, you got a guy like Rob Van Dam that had all this momentum coming into TNA and now very few people care about him. You know, that's what TNA has done to a lot of guys. They've just made people not care. And like I said, I know the wrestlers have grown TNA one fan at a time, as Dixie Carter likes to say, but the booking, the writing, the presentation of the show has lost you 20 fans at a time. You know, the wrestlers are still incredible in that ring. You've still got a lot of great young talent. Like I said, you've got the greatest roster that's probably ever been assembled. And those guys are willing to go out there and bust their butt to make TNA better. But sometimes you don't use them, which makes no sense to me. You know, you want to put the band and all these other guys in front of them. You know, I did have a chance to actually catch Impact this last Thursday, but I thought it was actually a pretty decent show. Sting can cut a great promo. He can cut a great promo. I've always said that. Doug has always said that. But it's about using the guy on a limited basis. He has no business being in the main event competing for the title. No business whatsoever. Because you know what? Guess what? He's got to go last, which means that match is not going to deliver by up to Sting's standards because Sting can't perform at the main event level. Not anymore. It just drives me crazy. It drives me insane. You need to be using Sting once every 4 to 6 months on a very limited basis for just specific matches with a lot of build-up that can be on the middle or like close to the end of the card. You know, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I don't think the fans would have a problem with that because, like I said, I think there's still a lot of fans that like watching Sting. But in the main event, people just don't buy it. I believe that's it for now. Post your comments, post your thoughts on the release of Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. And for all you WWE fans that wanted to cling on to the NXT invasion and hold on to it because it was your ray of hope, it was the last hope for you and your self-esteem because it was so low and the WWE has let you down so many times. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But get used to it because the WWE does not care what you think. They do not care. And the release of Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, is proof of that. The guy was the most over coming out of NXT. He was the most popular coming out of NXT, and they got rid of him. And even though you want to see him, he choked an announcer with a necktie. And apparently that's why they released him, because they didn't want that violent image to be projected onto the WWE product. And so he was the scapegoat and he got punished for it. But yet, he's the future of professional wrestling. Yet, he's one of the most talented guys they could have ever wished for in their locker room. And they dropped the ball. They don't care about talent in the WWE. They don't care about it at all. Are you an entertainer? Are you an actor? Because that's what comes first. Do you have a look? That's what comes first, not wrestling ability. And I think Bryan Danielson was entertaining, and I thought he was a great wrestler. So, sorry, you're going to have to watch TNA or ROH because that's where Bryan Danielson will probably end up. So, after his 90-day no-compete clause is up. So, all right, post your comments, post your thoughts. See you later.